Well, welcome everyone to the We're Not Stumped podcast. I'm your host, Mike Bolland, and today is a Thursday. And for those of you that know the podcast pretty well, on Thursdays I don't have a guest. If I do any podcast episodes at all on a Thursday, generally speaking, it'll be something that comes to my mind or something I've found, maybe a really great organization. Maybe there's a news story that I'd like to go over. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's something that just comes to my mind. And I wasn't sure I was going to do one today. That's because I'm in Arizona. We live in the Phoenix area. And I had to drive up. This is a Wednesday night that I'm recording this for Thursday. I had to drive up to our place up in Sholo, Arizona to do some winterizing because the last thing I want to do is sweat pipe again. I do my best to winterize this thing all the time, but there's been a couple times that it hasn't worked out too well. So I'm up here not looking the best, not looking my best. And it just dawned on me how important it is for me whenever I go out in public, whenever I'm, by the grace of God on television, whenever I'm doing my podcast, I try to look as good as I possibly can. And I don't know if that's something that everyone feels, but I just thought for this episode of the We're Not Stumped podcast, I talk about why that is for me and why I think it's important for everyone within the limb loss community, within the general disabled community, to try to look as good as they possibly can. So let me give you some thoughts on that, because first of all, this isn't about vanity or trying to impress anyone. It's about confidence, self-expression, and representation. When you take the time to look your best, whatever your best looks like, it changes how you feel, and it can even change how the world sees you. And as I said, I was born without a right hand, and growing up, I learned early on that people often see the differences before they see you, right? I think everyone that's listening to this podcast knows they're going to see your difference before they see you. And while I can't personally control that, and you can't control that in your situation, I can control how I present myself. Dressing well became part of that, not to hide anything, but to show that I take pride in who I am. And when you put effort into your appearance, to me, it sends a message to yourself, but also to others, that you belong, that you're confident, and that you are capable. Society still carries a lot of outdated ideas about disability. People sometimes assume we're limited or that we've lost our spark. But you know what? Showing up and looking your best, that challenges those stereotypes without saying a word. Again, these are my opinions. I love to have anyone, call me out, give me your opinions, leave a comment, call me, email me. I want to know your opinions. But I'm going to keep going, because this is also a very quiet form of advocacy. Every time someone sees a person with a disability who's well-dressed, confident, and comfortable in their own skin, it helps reshape how they think about that disability. It helps them see us as people first. Professionals, parents, athletes, creatives, people who just happen to do things a little differently. And there's something personal about it too, to be honest with you. Taking pride in how you look gives you a mental boost. Whether you're heading to work, a medical appointment, or just out grabbing a coffee, it can remind you that you're in control of how you show up in this world. So yeah, dressing well isn't just about fashion or fitting in. It's about self-respect, identity, and pride. It's about saying, hey, this is me. You know what? I belong here. And when we show up that way, confidently, authentically, we make it easier for others in our own community to do the same. And I'll say it again, if this message resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How does the way you present yourself impact how you feel or how others treat you? Send me a message. Share your story or tag We're Not Stumped on social media. Let's keep challenging those stereotypes and show the world that confidence and pride have no limits. Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the We're Not Stumped podcast. As I say at the end of every one of these Thursday episodes, everyone, have a great week.